The continuation of the shocking investigation. Why is the terrible ghost with a pendulum haunting the young woman? The psychics will uncover a shocking love secret. Welcome to Psychic Investigations, a project of exclusively true and stunning stories. People who call themselves clairvoyants investigate resonant criminal cases and enigmatic mystical anomalies. In the previous episode, 35-year-old Marta Konovalova from Ukraine sought the help of Olena Kurilova and Jana Shulikova, claiming a murderous ghost is haunting her and her two children.
I walked into the room and saw a black silhouette in the corner. It scared me to death.
A black silhouette, about 1.8 meters tall. I didn't see his face.
After each encounter with the man from the other side, the family members face mortal danger. Marta was nearly hit by a truck.
Had I taken just one step, I wouldn't be here now.
Soon afterward, Marta's daughter injured her arm badly.
She injured it so badly that her wrist was completely dislocated.
And her 13-year-old son was paralyzed after a slip and fall accident at a supermarket.
He spent 2 days in the intensive care. They said he had a brain hemorrhage from the impact, and it could have been fatal.
Marta thought her late husband, Victor, was trying to kill her and her family. The ghost they see in their apartment looks very much like him.
I saw him in a suit and white shirt, just like he was buried. I got goosebumps.
However, upon investigation, the psychics sensed the ghost was not Marta's deceased husband.
He too became a victim of that supernatural force.
Then who is the man threatening the woman and her children?
I see the spirit again. He's in a suit and white shirt, holding something like a set of keys or medallions on chains.
Why is the mysterious spirit hunting Marta's family? During the investigation, Jana Shulikova kept having strange visions of a young couple.
A strange picture, like a series of photographs. I see a couple, a man and a woman, holding hands. The woman is crying, but I sense that their relationship is being torn apart by a third person.
When she tuned into the malevolent entity, Olena Kurilova had a vision of a terrifying ritual.
A dark room and a woman's hand is drawing a pentagram on a mirror.
It turned out that Marta's mother, Maria, practiced magic.
Is it possible that she summoned the force that is now killing the family?
The psychics met the woman, who made a shocking confession related to her daughter's deceased husband.
I always defended her. She found herself a man.
Do you mean Victor?
Yes, he did things that were just awful, and I sense it. It was me who sent him to the cemetery. There are many things that I don't want her to even know.
Did you work with a mirror?
I did.
What did you use to draw the pentagrams?
My own blood.
My goodness.
I opened portals.
Did you summon spirits?
Yes.
I see that all your magic was aimed at finding a husband as your first love ended in heartbreak.
Yes.
The man abandoned you pregnant.
Yes.
He simply turned his back and left.
He said he already had a woman he was planning to marry. Mom raised me on her own.
I understood that the woman had read books full of absurd ritual recipes and decided she was a great sorceress. But it's not a game.
1, 2, 3. 3 dead men. They're all your men.
Marta says she was always shocked to learn of the death of her yet another stepfather. One was a victim of a street fight, another committed suicide, and the third died of pancreatic cancer.
Mom never had long-lasting relationships. They would die. Then she'd find another man, live with him for a while, and he'd die too.
We immediately thought that the woman might have summoned the spirit with pendulums, who killed her 3 husbands, her son-in-law, and then started hunting Marta.
Men pay with their lives for her love. Your magic turned against you.
Perhaps the woman herself suffered because of her magic, as a few months ago, she fell ill with a severe form of meningitis. She was bedridden for a long time and only survived by a miracle.
But the cards showed me that the killer spirit appeared not because of her magic. She had nothing to do with her son-in-law's death. And I sensed the dead man with the pendulums attached himself to the family because he needed something from them.
The psychics say goodbye to Marta's mother and proceed with the investigation, trying to find the reason why the man's ghost is haunting the family.
You know, tuning into him, I see a picture. It's like a painting. It's a wedding. The bride's eyes are filled with tears.
Give me your hand. I sense an old house. Your family is connected to it.
Yes, we have a house. My great-grandfather and great-grandmother were from Poland. The whole family used to live in that house. Now, it's our summer cottage.
It turned out Marta had already witnessed the ghost and a strange shadow in the country house several times.
My daughter Irina has also seen it many times. She said she would never stay in that house alone, no matter what.
During her most recent visit, Marta noticed the eerie shadow again and decided to record it on video.
Look at the wall.
A shadow.
That's him.
The man with the pendulums?
That's him. Oh. This sound.
What do you hear?
A clock.
I clock ticking all around us. And then I realized that the ghost I kept seeing wasn't holding medallions or pendulums. They were pocket watches. The spirit was holding watches on chains.
It really does look like a pendulum. That's why every appearance of the spirit was connected to clocks and watches. Quiet. Is there a clock anywhere here?
There's no clock in here.
The answer was buried underground, and soon we found it. But at that moment, we had to figure out who the spirit with the watches was. And then Marta told us something really astonishing.
My great-grandfather was a watchmaker. He repaired pocket watches like these. We heard ticking all the time in the house.
He started repairing watches back in Poland, in Przemysl.
After moving from Poland to Ukraine, the man became a renowned watchmaker.
His entire room was filled with watches. He had a collection of those old watches on chains.
What was his name?
Mikhailo.
The murderous spirit has watches in his hands. And if he's bound to that house, we need to go there. As soon as we entered the yard, I noticed someone watching us. It was him, the spirit with the watches. He keeps coming here, and he even leaves traces.
Once I came here, the grass was parted, as if someone had walked through it.
He wants something from here.
As soon as we entered the room, I felt a sudden weakness. I couldn't catch my breath.
All right, hold up.
What was it? Could it be a simple power outage?
It felt like the lights went out for a reason. That ghost was close by.
Marta says that strange things happen with the electricity in this house, even though the wiring was recently replaced during renovations.
Yes, he's here.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Do you see what's going on here?
I see an image again. It's like a photograph. The same young man and woman I saw before. The man stands by her, embracing and kissing her. But it feels like their relationship was destroyed, like the girl's life was cut short. Who are those people? What does it have to do with the watchmaker's spirit? And what does Marta's family have to do with this all? The cards say that it wasn't the ghost of her grandfather that Marta saw. It's not his spirit that the family keeps seeing.
It's not even funny.
I'm scared and feel a chill.
And then I suddenly heard a whisper. It was the voice of Marta's great-grandfather. He told me, "The cause is in the antique watch."
Your great-grandpa had many watches, didn't he?
Yes,
Where are they now?
the watches. During the renovation, the workers put them all in a pile somewhere. I don't know where they put them.
Marta says that after her great-grandfather's death, some watches were thrown away, while relatives took others.
One of the great-grandfather's antique watches held a secret. We needed to find the watch as soon as possible.
It's somewhere here. My senses led me outside. The man's voice said the watch was where the water was. No, not here.
Could it be where the rainwater drains?
Where does it drain?
Here and there.
The watch stopped.
Search where the watch stopped. Seek there.
Underground? Give me a knife or something.
I can bring a shovel.
The earth was hard and it was difficult to dig.
My heart's thumping. What did you find?
Look,
A watch. I see a chain. It's a watch.
Oh my God.
I was shocked. It apparently spent a lot of time buried underground. But how did it get there?
It could be an evil charm.
give me a handkerchief.
Is it your great-grandfather's?
He had lots of such watches. He had plenty of pocket watches.
Maybe when they were taking the things out, it fell here?
Let's check it. It's not a curse.
But the ghost is coming back here because of this watch specifically.
But why would he need it?
You know what I see? There was a lid that covered the dial. And on the lid, I made out a picture. A young man watches a girl walking by. It was like love at first sight. I saw them earlier today. They are the same couple I've seen in all the pictures. It felt like the watch was part of a collection. And the images I saw throughout the investigation seemed to be the designs on the lids of antique watches. There were 7 of them. And they were somehow connected to the girl whom the man loved during his lifetime.
But why was this watch here? There were these strange sounds coming from the roof. It was just terrifying.
I see him. The spirit with the pocket watches in his hands, exactly like the one we found, was standing in front of me. He was tall and thin and had a good-looking, handsome face. The man was around 40, and he was wearing a dark suit and a white shirt like those from the past. I asked the spirit who he was and why he was haunting Marta and her family. He said, I asked them not to sell it.
Did someone sell this watch to someone else? Maybe to my grandfather?
It's his watch. He made a series, a collection of watches. There are 6 more. He was a watchmaker, like your grandfather.
The cards revealed that the man depicted himself and the girl, the love of his life, on those watches.
He says, this is the story of my tragic love for Anna. He showed me these pictures so I could see and feel his love. Each watch depicted a fragment of their tragic relationship. The young man first sets eyes on the young beauty. Their meeting and first date. The girl tells him that her parents are giving her in marriage to a wealthy man. The bride's tears at her wedding to another man, and soon after, her illness and death. Many years have passed since the girl's death. He finds himself in dire straits. He goes to sell his collection of watches to a jeweler, asking him not to sell it and saying he'll buy it back. It's my memory and the memory of my love. But he was deceived. The jeweler sells the watches and he sells them to different people.
And he's now searching for his watches, right?
Yes. His spirit is visiting everyone who has one of those watches, trying to reclaim the only thing left from his love.
After the investigation, our journalists began searching for the information to confirm or refute the psychic's words. They discovered that the psychics had sensed real events that took place a century ago, linked to a famous jeweler, Boris Granovsky.
In 1916, a stranger approached the jeweler with a collection of pocket watches in an antique style. Under each lid, there were pictures painted with enamel. He asked for 35 rubles. And at that time, you could buy a small house for 30 rubles.
The jeweler quickly sold the watches to wealthy customers who could afford such valuable items. However, those who purchased them seemingly faced misfortune.
4 of the buyers unexpectedly went bankrupt. 1 shot himself in the head. 3 others died suddenly. Another was robbed and murdered, and the 7th simply disappeared without a trace. The jeweler himself emigrated abroad, and his fate remains unknown.
Nobody knows what happened to the watches or where they are now, but what does Marta's family have to do with this? How did one of the 7 watches from the collection end up with her great-grandfather?
Someone brought it to him to repair.
Mom told me the story. A young man brought the watch. It had no lid, and he couldn't find one anywhere.
And he left the watch and never came back. He suddenly passed away, and the watch remained with the great-grandfather. The spirit isn't here to harm Marta's family. He wants his watch back. But his each appearance brings mortal danger to those he encounters.
Why does the man want those watches? If he's dead, he should have met his woman in the afterlife.
No. They didn't meet because he seems to have given an oath.
Until he finds them all, right?
He vowed during his lifetime to return all those watches, as they were his life. And he didn't fulfill his vow.
It was an unfinished mission for the watchmaker. And spirits with unfinished missions cannot pass into the afterlife. He won't meet the woman he loves until he finds all the 7 watches.
this is the last one, and the spirit won't stop until he takes back this watch. But this is very dangerous for Marta and her family.
But how do we end it?
There's only one way to give the ghost what belongs to him. It's through the cemetery.
We needed to find a grave with the same name as the girl the man loved.
Marta says that her great-grandmother, who had the same name, Anna, is buried in the local cemetery.
I read the incantation to contact the spirit and return him the 7th watch.
Take what you want and leave us alone.
He accepted it.
I felt warmth. It felt like a release.
Through the fire, I opened a portal so that the watchmaker's spirit could depart.
Suddenly, I saw the image of a young girl and I understood that she was the watchmaker's sweetheart. She was waiting for him, whom she loved during her life and still loved beyond the grave.
I'm so grateful to you. Finally, the two souls have found peace.
If the story impressed you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Many more incredible investigations are coming up. The murder of a young nurse. The maniac wanted his crime to remain hidden in the casket with his victim's body. But the woman's spirit will reveal the truth. The psychics will investigate the murder of a young Ukrainian nurse. Her name was Alina Diakova. She was 23, and this is her last photo.
Alina always dreamed of being a medic. She enjoyed working at the hospital.
Alina's grandmother was the last person who saw her alive. On her way home, Alina stopped in her village to visit her and bring her medications. After that, she hurried home to give a dripper to her mother, who suffers from a stomach ulcer.
I dialed her and spoke to her on the phone.
At 8 p.m., Alina went to the bus stop. The two villages are 4 kilometers apart, so Alina was supposed to be home 20 minutes later.
I came home and expected her to be back any moment. Then I called her and heard her crying and shouting, "Mom, help me!" I asked her, "Where are you?" But I only heard, "At the cemetery." And that was it. The line went dead.
The bus linking both villages passes by the local cemetery. But the driver says Alina wasn't among his passengers that night.
There's only one cemetery between the villages, so my husband and I quickly went there by car. I called her, I shouted, I ran, and tried to dial her. I heard the tone, but nobody would answer the phone.
Desperate, the mother called the police, and the law enforcers began the search right away, joined by the locals.
Alina was found 2 days after she disappeared. Her body was lying in the field 5 kilometers from the village Alina had been heading for on her last evening. She was undressed, her wrists and ankles were tied, and a black plastic bag was on her head. The forensic examination concluded that the cause of Alina Diakova's death was a traumatic brain injury. Apart from that, she was beaten badly.
The forensics said her jaw had several fractures.
My husband went to the identification, and my son says it's good I didn't see her.
The victim's cross was found next to her body. Its lace was broken. Most probably, the murderer tore it from the victim's neck.
She helped everyone. She only meant good. Did she really deserve this? Why would somebody do something like that to another person?
All of Alina's personal possessions were with her. That is, it couldn't be a robbery. According to her friends and family, Alina never had conflicts with her friends or colleagues, which excludes the idea that she could be killed as revenge. She wasn't in a relationship at the time of the murder, so it wasn't done out of jealousy. Then the motive remains unclear to date.
I really want to ask for your help.
We need it to be investigated properly, so at least nobody else will be hurt.
The most powerful psychics in our project, Kayal Alekperov and Jana Shulakova, took up the case.
I have a feeling Alina was put into some kind of casket before she was murdered.
When I asked who the murderer was, my sacred book told me, look for the hand with the cross. Besides, Alina called her mother from the cemetery. It gives me an idea it could be a ritual murder.
The psychic's words can make anyone's hair stand up on their nape. Is Alina really a victim of a bloody ritual?
Hold on. My book gave me 2 more cues. The murderer's hand feeds the dog and find the girl who escaped from the beast. Let's go.
Kayal,
It's unbelievable. Kayal Alekperov was almost hit by the car. Fortunately, the driver hit the brakes at the last moment.
do you want to kill yourself? What happened?
Jana, it was as if I teleported into that terrible evening. Through Alina's eyes, I saw the same car, but it was white. Could the murderer be a driver?
So we need to find a similar car.
The psychics arrive at the house of Lilia, Alina's mother. The victim's family, friends, and colleagues are already waiting for them.
Hello, my name's Lilia. I'm Alina's mother.
I'm Alina's aunt. My name's Natalia.
Thank you so much for coming.
Give me your hands. At that moment, I saw Alina's spirit. I wanted to cry suddenly. For some reason, Alina felt huge guilt toward her grandmother. Grandma, forgive me that I didn't bring the flowers.
Alina died on her grandmother's birthday.
I feel she knew she would die. Not long before it happened, she had a nightmare. It was a prophetic dream.
Yes, she told me of it.
She was running, fleeing from a beast that was trying to tear her apart. What lunar phase was it? Can somebody give me a phone? I need to check it out online. What was the lunar phase? Here, look. Here, the moon was full.
But if it really was a ritual murder, and Alina was killed at the cemetery, then here's a question. How did her body end up 5 kilometers away from the cemetery?
What do we have here? The murderer. He's lonely. He knows her, he sees her. He's interested in her.
My book is telling me that the police detained somebody. Do they really have a suspect?
Well, they really arrested a man quickly. But we doubt it could be him.
Then why did they arrest him?
Because he's an ex-convict and was released recently.
The victim's family think the police had simply detained the first suspect they could find, choosing the ex-convict to close the case quickly so the people would calm down.
He's a thief. Previously, he was sentenced for theft.
Yes, when they found him, he had her phone and earbuds.
The suspect's name is Mikhailo, and he lives in the village not far from which Alina was found. During the search at his house, the police found the victim's mobile phone. This was the reason for his detention.
My book says that Alina had valuable jewelry on her, and it was untouched. It was something in the shape of swallows.
Gold earrings. They were on her.
He took nothing. He didn't even touch the gold.
The old jailbird took the phone but didn't touch the gold. It's really weird.
Mikhailo has a wife and a 13-year-old daughter. But Jana Shulakova claimed Alina's murderer was a lonely man who knew the victim. Mikhailo never knew Alina. All her friends and relatives confirm it.
Did the police make a mistake, and the dangerous murderer is still free? The psychics go to the cemetery, from where, according to her mother, Alina called her.
She was brought in a car.
Alina never got into strangers' cars.
She knew the man in the car. I see the car with Alina pull over here. The murderer starts harassing your daughter, grabbing her hands. She realizes she's in danger, and she needs to run. And so, she runs away.
There. She runs, crying and shouting. She takes her phone. She says, "I see crosses." She's going to tell his name, but she's too late. She suffocates. She trailed off no sooner she had inhaled. And then a bump. 1, 2. Blood squirts. There's blood everywhere. She's all beaten so badly.
As an ex-serviceman, I saw a lot of blood and was in many terrible situations. But even at war, people weren't as cruel as this beast who tormented the defenseless woman.
To understand who the real murderer was, the psychics go to the site where Alina made her last call to her mother.
Constant buzz in my ears. It's like emptiness.
Are you unwell?
My God, this is awful. She suffered so much. She tries to hide the phone. She's afraid to lose it because she's afraid she won't be found and saved. Oh God, she's shouting out. She's shouting out. She's calling. She's screaming. She's shouting, "Mom!"
I still hear her calling because I heard it over the phone. I can't forget it no matter what I do. She was waiting for me and she was calling me, hoping I would find her.
Different punches and kicks, and one of them is a massive thump, like with a club, or something long, like a pipe. An iron pipe.
A metal pipe. The people who helped with the searching found it here.
There are 2 murder weapons and 2 men. There were 2 of them.
According to Alina's relatives, she spent several years learning martial arts, and she was very fit. As such, she would have probably escaped from one attacker.
If you take the arrested man, he's frail. And she would have easily dealt with him.
She is lying down. She feels very bad, but she's not dead yet.
Alina was taken away from here.
The psychics and Alina's family go to the site where Alina's body was found. The representative of the local self-defense unit has also arrived. He was the first to find the body in the field during the search.
She was lying here, like this. The bag on her head was tied with duct tape, and her wrists and ankles were duct taped too.
They put the plastic bag on her head because the murderer was afraid to stain his car's interior with blood. I feel she was undressed.
She was lying like this, naked.
First, I thought that your daughter's murder was of a ritual nature, but now I see the murderers wanted to rape Alina.
By the time of the investigation, the results of the autopsy weren't ready yet, so nobody knew whether Alina had been raped or not. But before the episode aired, we were sent a copy of the autopsy results. According to it, there was sperm in Alina Dyakova's body.
Now, I see the 2 men bring your daughter here in the car.
A cigarette smoldering, smoke rising. He dropped the cigarette and they left.
Indeed, the investigators found a cigarette butt next to Alina's body. It was taken for the examination, and the sample of the saliva found on it was compared to that of Mikhailo, the suspect. They didn't match.
Wait, it wasn't dark then, and the sun was rising. Alina was brought here in the morning.
She spent the whole night in a tiny, enclosed, dirty, dark, and cold room. I smell dampness. A white house and a small window and a blue frame.
Can you show it? Can you find this house?
I think my jinns can show the way. We've got to go straight. There is a cafe or a store next to the house in which they kept your daughter. And I hear a dog barking. Your daughter heard it too before she died. Now turn left.
The clairvoyants enter the village. They feel the murderers kept Alina somewhere here.
Wait. Here. Is it the store?
Let's get outside.
I feel it was here. This house. This is where Alina was kept before she died. Is anybody home?
I said stop it. Hush. Sit.
Could you tell me, please, who lives here?
Mikhailo used to live here.
What are you doing here?
I'm looking after my friend's home.
This man's name is Dimitro, and he lives next door. Suddenly, the psychics notice the white car in the yard.
Alina's murderer drove a white car.
Could it be the same car Alina got in on the night of her murder?
Why was Mikhailo arrested?
They claim he murdered a girl.
Is it the same Mikhailo?
The suspect?
At that moment, I remembered the cue my book had given me. The hand with the cross. Could it be a tattoo? Tell me, does Mikhailo have a tattoo on his hand?
He does.
Is it a cross?
Yes.
Does this mean the man detained by the police is really guilty? But if the psychics are right, he didn't commit the crime alone. Who is the second murderer?
Can we come into the yard to work?
Just a moment. Let me tether the dog.
I feel Alina's energy. This is where she was tied and then raped.
The lid of the casket. Here is your daughter's casket. I can't be in here. I feel sick. I need to get out. It's unbearable.
It was awful to look at the shed, knowing my daughter died in it.
Tell me, do you feed the dog?
Well, yes.
My book tells me the murderer's hand feeds the dog. Did you see Mikhailo that day?
When?
When the young woman was murdered.
Of course I did.
You and he drank.
Do you mean you came to visit him and you drank alcohol together?
I had 2 shots. He invited me in to reconcile.
Tell me, what time were you in this house?
It was 6:30 or 6:40.
In other words, roughly 90 minutes before Alina disappeared, Mikhailo was at home drinking, and Dimitro was with him.
Did he have any other guests? Did you see anybody else?
There were his ex-wife, his girlfriend, and his kids.
All right, so it means you and him were the only men there, right?
Yes.
And you both were in the house, weren't you?
What happened after you had the 2 shots with Mikhailo?
He told me, bro, let's go get more vodka and something to munch.
And you went with Mikhailo to buy more vodka, didn't you?
I didn't want to go with him, so I went home. It was 7:15.
And an hour later, Alina's mother called her to find where she was. It was when she was at the cemetery, trying to flee from her murderers.
Can anybody confirm that?
I live alone.
The detained suspect has a family, but my card showed me that the murderer was lonely. Dimitro lives alone.
But there is no evidence that Dimitro was involved in the murder, and there are no witnesses who could say that he was home at the time.
I have one more question. Did you know Alina?
No, I didn't even know her name.
I feel you're lying. You did know her. Your work connected you.
Well, I saw her often. I'm a plumber at the regional hospital. I've worked there for 6 or 7 years, so I saw her there. I saw her quite often, as my job is to check piping in the wards and rooms.
In other words, she knew you, and you knew her. Is that right?
Well, yes.
Are you trying to say you didn't know her name, even though you worked at the same place? I see he's lying.
I wasn't there. I didn't go anywhere. Why are you blaming me?
Dimitro, your reaction is very suspicious. Why are you so nervous? Did anybody blame you for something?
Since the man had no alibi on the night of Alina's death, I carried out my own investigation in relation to him. I asked the villagers, and I was shocked to hear what they told me.
He's not simply aggressive, he's mental.
According to his neighbor, once Dimitro got drunk and attacked another villager who refused to lend him money. Moreover, it turned out that a day before the murder, Dimitro and Mikhailo had a row.
I only know they were drinking together. As far as I know, Dimitro began harassing Mikhailo's stepdaughter. She's about 15, if I'm not mistaken. Her mother was shouting loudly.
This is she, the girl who escaped from the beast.
It's yet another proof that it wasn't a problem for him to attack a defenseless young woman.
We're only saying what we feel. Accusation is the job of the police.
Please press the police. Do anything to make them resume the investigation. Not just one of them has his hands bloodied.
Thank you for responding and helping us.
I am genuinely grateful. Now we know the answers. And we heard the truth we needed to hear.
It's hard to comprehend everything that happened to Alina Diakova. If you're impressed by the story, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more shocking investigations by the psychics are still ahead.